So I'm making this video because I'm about to do these jokes uh, um, for the first time live. I want there, and if some of them are any good, I want there to be video evidence in case uh, someone tries to steal them. So that's the reason I'm making this video. It's about a little before 5 o'clock on March 10th, 2024. So here it goes. Microwave. Now, the microwave is very useful, especially if you want things heated unevenly. But God forbid you leave food in the microwave for 10 seconds after it's finished. Now, we can't have that. The microwave will beep and beep loudly and persistently. It's as if you must remove your partially heated food in at least 30 seconds or the world will end. It beeps so much. The oven, on the other hand, which is like a fire at 450 degrees, has no beeping, no time. It can be left on indefinitely, and you'd just be none the wiser. Just quietly heating the apartment as deadly methane gas slowly fills your lungs. I know I'm a straight white male, 8 inches, cut. If you know where that joke is from, I love you. However, I'm actually a progressive Jew. Bernie 2016, Bernie 2020. And as a Jew, I have to sincerely apologize for the rapper Lil Dicky. Not that he wasn't doing something funny and interesting with rap, but that he worked with Chris Brown after the whole Rihanna incident. But I'm kind of annoyed how sexual identity has infiltrated every facet of life. Like I went to the Gap and they had a section of straight jeans. So, being straight, I bought a pair of those. Now styles are cyclical. When I was growing up, women wore skinny jeans and men wore baggy jeans. Now girls wear baggy jeans and boys wear skinny jeans. Must be nice for the women. They can carry things in their pockets now. Like a man has to ask his girlfriend, "Do you have room in your pants for my wallet?" So I remember hearing about the riots in Charlottesville, and at first I was a bit perplexed because these white nationalists were chanting, "The Jews will not replace us. The Jews will not replace us." And and I thought, replace you? Replace you as what? A troop of Hawaiian barbecue partiers? As white nationalists? Jews have never been able to be white nationalists, Nazis, or whatever. In Germany in the 30s, the Nazis were like, the white race is superior. And the German Jews were like, yeah. And the Nazis looked at them and go, no, no, not you. You can't join. And the Jews were like, oh, okay. And the Poles were like, yeah, stupid Jews. We're Christian and white and superior. And the Nazis were like, no, not you either. Kind of picky, don't you think? Kind of picky. So the Nazis were like, we only like big, buff, usually blonde, attractive Germans. And the rest of Europe is like, oh, so you must like the gays, right? No, no gays. Everyone else in Europe is like, really? Your leader sure has a gay little mustache. I'm sure that it tickles his boyfriend's ass when he sits on his face. I don't know, it seems pretty gay to me. But but after Charlottesville, I learned that the neo-Nazis were chanting about replacement theory, that supposedly the Jews uh, bringing Mexicans and other undesirables across the border. So my father is Jewish, and my sister and I were adopted from South America. Her from Paraguay and myself from Colombia. But I get the feeling that's not exactly what they were chanting about. So I'm Colombian, and people often say, "Oh, you must like coffee." I don't drink coffee. Rule number one, never get high on your own supply. I know Sofia Vergara said this recently, but we've all thought of this before. I think most people want to be perceived as either a man or a woman. Even Caitlyn Jenner is like, I may have lost 90% of my muscle mass since I was a gold medal winning decathlete, but if you, Ben Shapiro, call me a man to my face one more time, we're gonna go outside and I'm gonna kick your hateful Jewish ass until your eyebrows surrender. Imagine Ben going to a Klan rally, and the other members yell, "Fuck the Jews!" And Ben goes, "Yeah! A couple of Jews once sent me to my bed without dinner." And uh, all the other white nationalists uh, turn and look and say, I think you're the only one here who feels that way. Right? And by the way, are you are you Jewish? You kind of look kind of Jewish. And how can you be hateful if you're Jewish? I'm Jewish. Everybody hates us. The old Nazis, the new Nazis. No one expects the Spanish Inquisition. We were even slaves in Egypt. In fact, a lot of different peoples have been slaves. We were slaves. Africans were slaves. I even learned recently that Christopher Columbus brought back New World slaves. I guess white Canadians have never been slaves. They're so polite though. No one has ever enslaved the white Canadians. Yet. In 500 years, I bet the polar bears will enslave the white Canadians. An Eskimo, an Eskimo will see an enslaved white Canadian sitting by a hole in the ice, wait, holding a spear above his head, and the Eskimo will ask, what are you doing? And the white Canadian will reply, I'm hunting for seals for my polar bear master. And the Eskimo will respond, oh, that's right, they enslaved you foreigners because you brought on global climate change. That's why they enslaved you and not us. See, my people, the native Canadians, lived for thousands of years here and never caused global warming. We live perfectly in balance with nature. I think lacrosse is the most quintessentially American sport. We stole it from the American Indians, and rich white kids play it to get into college. For those of you who don't know, the Iroquois started the sport to honor their gods. But they don't refer themselves as Iroquois, they call themselves the Haudenosaunee. I apologize if I butchered that name. But they even have their own national team, and despite their small population, are pretty good. I think at the World Cup of lacrosse, last few years ago, they got second. So, Kate McKinnon really is a chameleon. She can even act as someone who likes Verizon. I have Verizon, and I get no service when I'm in a tunnel. Uh, Second thing, when I'm not near a major city, it's also super expensive. I pay like $80 a month. Cricket Wireless cannot be any worse, but it's only $15 a month, so I should switch to Cricket. Hmm. They say the key to a happy relationship is never going to bed angry. But women often tell their significant others, especially the men, to sleep on the couch. Okay, I guess this is one way not to go to bed angry. I love Taylor Tomlinson. Specifically, I love her stand-up. I was hoping she was gonna get a late night show like what Colbert has or Craig Ferguson used to, so I could see her stand up every night. In fact, I would consider her one of the greatest comedic voices of our generation, and I'm a millennial. And by the way, Gen Z and Gen X too. Boomers, you need to get out of the way. Retire from politics. We're in this mess largely because of you. But Taylor has this joke about boyfriends and their honesty when they get hit on. How they only do it to score points for respecting the most basic tenet of their relationship. Tenant or tenant. Tenant. I think I can speak from a guy's perspective. It is a lose-lose situation when you get hit on by someone who is not your girlfriend. Either you tell her, either you tell your girlfriend you were hit on, and she thinks you were only doing it to score points, or you risk her finding out herself, and then you're the bad guy for not telling. Another no-win situation occurs when women criticize or consider your relationship with your mother. Either you're too close with your mother and you're a mama's boy, or you're too distant and then you lack compassion because you don't have a close enough relationship with your mother. You can't win either way. Women, why do you want to be tall? I know you think heels make your butt look better, and that might be true, but I'm not really into butts. And supermodels are tall, so you want to look like that. But there's nothing hotter than a girl who is short. And supermodels are tall because it makes the clothes they wear look better. No other reason. Just the designers, the fashion designers, want to make their clothes look more appealing, so more people will buy them. I'm pretty sure tall girls like Taylor Swift, who's 6 feet tall, wish they were short because then they would have more options than just tall men to fall for. And I think sexism by women is kind of akin to racism. If, say, a Canadian mugged and raped me or leered at me, I wouldn't hate all Canadians. That would be racist, or I don't know, countryist. I don't know, something like that. But that's what it's like when when you swear off men, or or you've been a victim of sexual violence. I would be, if I were, raped by a Canadian, a bit wary of them, of course. But, you know, I would compartmentalize that to, okay, this one Canadian did that to me, but I'm not going to generalize to all Canadians. We need to stop joking about the right. Actually, the right is a misnomer. Political views are like a circle. At the bottom are Democrats and Republicans. They're close together, who like money. And those at the top are like small government conservatives and progressives. But I digress. No one likes to be made fun of, laughed at, or made to feel stupid. This is in part why Trump appeals to conservatives. He speaks plainly, using words his followers can understand, and why conservatives, or the conservative base, were so critical of universities they didn't attend. If we truly want to bring this country together, we need to stop making fun of the right. I'm not saying we should stop pointing out the absurdities and contradictions of Donald Trump. And of course, there are Republicans who are so committed to supporting him that they can't change their tune now without looking foolish. But if they ever become unblinded by their fervent support for him, we should welcome them back into the political discourse. All right. Thank you so much. You've been a wonderful audience. I've been Matt Harmon. Good night.